Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to divide by sheep. So you on this main screen start with this background with the weird little plants, and then when you get out of green world into ice world it doesn't change, which I guess the way this background swipes, I guess that makes some sense. Let's hop into the first puzzle. Alright, so we want 6 sheep, 1 wolf, and then 4 sheep, which in total means we need 10 sheep. We have about 16, 17, 18, 19 sheep to play with. So then I imagine the question to ask is, how do we end up with 1 wolf? Yeah, because it would seem to me like it would have to be something like this, and then possibly something like this and this, and then that gets you your 1 wolf out of the way. And then now we are just going to have 6 sheep there, and so there's our first thing. There's our 1 wolf, and then let's see, how can we play this further? We have 6 sheep now. If we go this way, we'll go down to 3 sheep. If we go over here, we won't lose any. If we go this way, we'll be down to 4 sheep. Nope, 3 sheep. Yeah, and I think increasingly it might just be a case where it is the right move to, let's see, maybe we'll do it this way. It feels like it might just be the right move to have a single try on these puzzles. Yeah, not spend a lot of times. It probably won't always be a single try, but it does just kind of make sense not to overly dwell on these kinds of puzzles and instead just try and get it right 1 or 2 times and then give up. There, 2 tries was a good run there. Sure, ideally we'd want to do it on the first try, but to really accomplish that I would just have to look at the puzzle and just mentally experiment. And in video games, thinking things through versus Twitch reaction and action, almost always in games you want to, the impulse is to have the Twitch reaction and action. Okay, we've got some weirdness here to start with. First of all, it wants 4 sheep. Second of all, we need at least 1 of the wolves, and then we need the other 3 wolves. So, I think the move here... Well, that's interesting. Twist. And the move here, first, has to be either to send 2 this direction by killing these 2, and then sending 1 like that. Right. Then the next step here is, how do we get 4 sheep? We've secured both of these locations. I didn't even realize I was going to secure both of these locations. We have our 4 wolves, which could turn into 3 wolves at some point. These are satisfied also. So there's kind of nothing you could do here. You could jump back here and then you just bounce back everything. Well, actually it split, didn't it? So I might have made the right move there without even realizing that was the right move. Whoops. Not quite right. Alright, so let's try this again. This one, and then this one to start. Then, should we be dividing this much? I think you'd lose too many in that split. But you don't cut, you lose like one in this split. Where if I did this, I'd lose a lot more. So I do think that that is the right move. So then it is just a question of how do we get to 3. We have 4 here. And so maybe the move is to just kind of go around in circles. That gets us to 3. And then 4 here. And I kind of feel like as long as you play somewhat safe here, there's no way this really is going to go wrong. Yeah. There was a slightly different way. I guess we could have gone all the way around on that puzzle. Here's our first opportunity to laser cut some wolves and find out that wolves don't get divided by the lasers. So only sheep do, and sheep when cut in half feed the wolves. So that probably is the right move to do that. And then we need something more. That would be 2.5. So we would want now some way for it to be 2.5 again. For 1.5. Yep. I assume these don't get split again. Okay. So it seems pretty obvious that this is the right move to start with. And then maybe if we just had 5 here and then we threw them that way, that would give us 2. Well, that gives us 2. We go this way. That would be 2 more. Which is the right number. So now the question is, how do we get the numbers down? We have 5, we want 3. We now have 4, we want 3. And yeah, you're not going to do any splitting or anything there. if there was a different situation, like, I don't think you can really do anything else. This would be wrong, this would be wrong, this would be wrong. This could go over here to make 6. So maybe there's a thought in that. Yeah. But the problem here is you've got this now at 6. If I throw these 6 to that 4, that doesn't leave any sheep left to try and reduce the number of wolves. And the number of wolves we know is going to be always reduced down to 5, so it doesn't even really matter what this number is. This is 5. But I don't know how you get rid of 2 more characters, wolves, without a 1 somewhere. So is it a case perhaps that this number here just doesn't matter? And you should do something like this, and then you should do something like this, and then with that, maybe you're supposed to reduce the numbers even more. I mean, that's way too few now. That's still, it just completely eliminates everything. Yeah. So almost certainly that's not the right move, which really does make it feel like there is barely a wrong move here. The main trick there is just to get down to that point and then do that. That was wrong. But that does just feel like that means all the remaining wolves can't be. There needs to be a sheep somewhere here. Is there any other way we could feed 2 of these wolves? We could throw all of those and that would cause nothing to happen. We could throw all of those and that would cause nothing to happen. We could throw this to be a 4 and that would just make it worse. This clearly is the right move. Okay. If I throw these here, that's a lot of characters. If I throw this here, that's a lot of characters. If I throw this, this goes to 5. We could move things around like this. if I put all of these here and then sliced them, I would just be feeding them all. If I threw the sheep here, I would feed 3, and then there would be 2. 1 too few. This ends up with 2.5 at that spot. Maybe the trick is to do something like this. Then that. Then that. This is going to be my last try. And then... I mean, that's just going to feed everything, isn't it? Okay, that gives us now the exact right number of sheep to feed back into the spot, but we actually need to only lose one of those. So if there was just one hungry wolf and we threw this, then that would work. But how do you reduce the numbers down to 1? In any way? Or is it some kind of crazy situation here where this being divided up makes sense? I just don't think it does. Okay, because that leaves you with a kind of bad situation where even if we cleared everything out, you got 2 wolves. And that's it. I said I was going to stop, and instead I'm spending more time on this. Doing that would give us too many. It does seem like you have to clear this path out. So is there something now about this spot? Could we, without actually killing any sheep, do something like this? If we did do something like this, it would feed that whole part, almost certainly. Yeah, I just don't see a solution here. This will give me 5 halves instead of 6 halves from 3 sheep. The only thing I could think would be to do something like this, then lose 1 to get to a 4, then come down here, go over here and get to 3 or 4 halves, come around here, do that. Okay. So can we get down to 3 now? This would get rid of 4 of these, and yeah, I've spent way too much time on this one puzzle, and this is the danger here, is that we might spend an entire episode on one puzzle. if I was to throw these over here to make 4, it would just make them all satisfied and then they wouldn't want to jump anymore. If I was to throw this over here, then that leaves exactly 1. And with that, I surrender. Didn't make much progress today at all. Apologies for that. I really should have just powered through it. And there is definitely a danger here in that the entire series may just get really long because I'm going to just constantly get focused in on a single puzzle and spend 20 minutes on the puzzle, or even 40 minutes, or even an hour or 2 hours, and yeah, that could get really crazy and way too long. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.